This is Bert Wicks. Today I'm going to be talking to you about closing more $1,000 packages. And couldn't be more excited to be with you today. The importance of this message goes well beyond one day, 1 week. If you decide to sell more and put more intention on selling more $1,000 packages, your average order is going to increase, your paychecks are going to go up, the ability to spend money where you want will also increase in the process, and where you want to invest money in the process as well, whether it's in the business or outside of the business. So there's power in selling sets, there's power in selling cookware sets, flatware sets. There's so many $1,000 packages that we can sell. So first off, what I want to talk about today is just to give you guys the idea of how many $1,000 packages we actually have. We have knife sets, we've got cookware sets, we've got flatware packages, we've got the family program, we've got accessory packages. When you sell kitchen tools, bake and serve options, when you sell barbecue tools, gadgets, all together, that's $1,000. Hunting knife packages. People spend thousands of bucks on a gun. They can spend $1,000 on a few different hunting knives and K-bars that we sell, and business gifts, of course. So again, there are a lot of options to create big orders. So today we're just going to focus on a couple. We're going to basically be focusing mainly on just kind of the idea of the kitchen. We're also going to be talking about some cookware, flatware stuff. But the first thing I want to talk about with you guys today is how comfortable are you asking for big orders? Right? Do you feel bad right now? Do you feel nervous asking for them? Do you just feel awkward when you're selling and asking for $2, $3, $4, $5, $6, $7, $10,000 order? We've all been there, by the way. So you're not alone if you felt that way. The next question would be then is, what would it feel like to feel empowered when you ask for questions? That you're doing something to serve the customer when you're asking for really big orders. Right? How would it feel again to be able to actually feel that you're having confidence ooze through your voice when you're asking for a bigger order? Not just something that you're like, oh, do you want to go ahead and get that? Awkwardly, right? But to have confidence, be like, would you like to go ahead and get that today for a $7,000, $8,000, $9,000 order? Again, you've heard the phrase probably a million times in your life within this job that you should ask for the order like you ask for the time, right? Would you like to go ahead and get that today? What time is it? Same thing, no inflection in your voice. My goal by the end of this message today, guys, is to be able to inspire action within you guys, not just to ask for bigger orders, but to also close them as well. Right? Because you can ask a million times, but if you don't actually have the tools to be able to close them, asking it helps, but it's not going to get the job done. So today we're going to talk about a few things. First, we're going to talk about mentality and belief towards selling $1,000 orders. We're also going to talk about how to sell customers on the idea of the Cutco Kitchen. We're also going to talk about some quick selling tips on flatware and cookware, and then properly selling people on the 5-pay. Okay, so first thing we're going to talk about is the mentality and belief, right? So the first thing I challenge you guys all to do today is expand your mindset on what a big order is for you. Is a big order 5 pieces, $500 right now? Or is a big order right now $5,000? Right? People sell kitchens literally all over the country every single day. Right? Why not you? Do you truly believe that, again, when everybody that you see should actually own a Cutco kitchen? Should they actually own everything that we make? Right? Do they deserve it? Because I believe every single person deserves to own every piece of Cutco that we make. Right? Put yourself in the customer's shoes. The Cutco kitchen is an investment, basically, guys, that is like a portable kitchen remodel forever. Right? Think about it. 10 grand. No matter where you move, right, you will always have your Cutco. You are doing a customer a favor when you help them bundle packages together. Right? They get the best savings, have products that are going to last them forever in their lifetime, and also for future generations beyond their lifetime. Right? And remember, again, when you're selling a bigger package, you're doing something for the customer, not to the customer. I'll say that again. Remember, when you're selling a bigger package, you are doing something for the customer, not to the customer. They save money. They have products that are low maintenance, easily maintained, and in the process, you increase your paycheck, right? So it's a win-win for everybody. Next thing we're going to talk about today is just selling customers on the idea of the Cutco Kitchen. This is something that I think is underutilized by most people in this business, and the more you talk about kitchens, the more you sell them. So why not start talking about kitchens? So first off, it's important that you have to remember that not every single person is going to buy a Cutco Kitchen all at once. But plugging the Cutco kitchen is everybody's goal is going to help you create more $1,000 orders in the process, and also help you close more $1,000 orders later as well, because you're planting seeds when you're talking about bigger packages that we sell. All right, we have it happen all the time when we're at state fairs, county fairs, home and garden shows, service calls, service events that we do, where we've already pre-sold customers on cookware or a flatware package or a family program for sets. Like I had this literally happen to me last week. I had a customer that I showed him like a Santoku cheese knife. She's like, "Oh, that's cool, but I've got some other things on my to-do list first." And I'm like, "Cool, awesome." And like later in the conversation, she's like, "Yeah, so pans are next." And I had already said, like, I kind of forgot that I had this conversation with this lady. She already remembered that she wanted pans. So I was like, just remind me, did I kind of tell you a little bit about them? She's like, yeah, they have the same benefit of non-stick pans without the health risk. I'm like, oh my God, she remembered my line. That's amazing. We're going to get to that in a little bit, right? So pre-selling customers on the idea of something, even though you don't sell them on it every single time you're with them, when you meet up with them later, do a service call for them a couple of years, you planted seeds in their head so they're excited to buy more. Right? So again, we see it again and again. It takes like 5 minutes, right, to sell customers on a big $1,000 package just because they already know that they want it. Right? A great philosophy that I learned from Josh Miller, who sold well over $5 million worth of Cutco now, is every program with every customer every single time. Every program, every customer, every single time. Right? You don't want to sell a customer a knife set and then see them again in 2 years down the road. Then they say, "Oh yeah, I bought a cookware set at a booth at the fair. Just some random cookware guys or some flatware people are there at Williams-Sonoma when they buy some new spoons and forks," right? Because they don't even know that Cutco has these products, right? So great one-liners to use with some customers to kind of help plug this is when you introduce Cutco, we are not the number one knife company. We are the number one kitchen company in North America and have been since 1949, right? We are the number one kitchen company in North America. Not the number one knife company, not the number one pan company or spoons and fork company. We're the number one kitchen company. This is what we sell. We sell kitchens. Utilizing the Cutco Kitchen Trifold. This is a hot tip. This thing is just awesome. Okay, this thing, the Cutco Kitchen Trifold. Right, it's got your knife sets, it's got your flatware sets, and then it's got, of course, your cookware sets as well. Listed in there. Bam. Right, and then on the back side, it's also got our utensils. Right, if you don't have one of these, get one of these. Your manager can order them. For those managers watching, the item number is L155. Order some. They're amazing. They're unbelievable graphics. Use them more. Right. So again, just having that out, it just kind of creates the picture. Put it in your virtual demo. If you're doing in-home service calls or demos, make sure you print it out and have it in person, right? That is something that you showed every single person every single time. So just so you know, most people know us as a knife company, Mrs. Jones, but a lot of people don't know that we've been making cookware and flatware as well. The cookware has actually been around just as long as the knives. Mrs. Jones is like, what? No way. So the kitchen philosophy, guys, again, you get a set of knives, you get a set of cookware, and you also get settings of flatware. Right? It's important that you focus in on one thing, right, at a time to start. That's okay. Focus on selling knives first, and then let them know and mention that we also sell spoons and forks and pots and pans as well. Right? I always say that we sell spoons and forks and pots and pans, guys, instead of cookware and flatware, because cookware and flatware just sounds fancy. Right? I always say pots and pans, everybody knows what pots and pans are. Everybody knows what spoons and forks are, right? Everybody confuses flatware with silverware. It's like, yeah, we make spoons and forks as well that are guaranteed forever. Forever spoons and forks. Forever pots and pans. You can use cookware and flatware if you like. I always just say, hey, keep it simple, stupid, as Michael Scott would say. All right? So most of the time, again, the first package you're going to sell people is knives, and that's great. So always show the sets, right? A great hot tip to sell more flatware, guys, is to sell them on steak knives first. So if you can sell them on steak knives, so right now, because of COVID-19, if you can't sell them an actual steak knife, you can use trimmers, right? And again, they cut the same, right? They just have a pointy tip instead of a dull tip, right? But if you can sell a person a set of knives right now with, like, again, steak knives down the future when we have them again, or trimmers, it's that much easier to sell 12 table knives that are in the stainless steel, right? So again, the benefit of just showing kitchens, guys, ultimately is just going to lead to more $1,000 packages. By the time you're showing them a homemaker, for example, for only $265 a month, right? Whereas a package deal they were just looking at was like $1,500 a month. It's like it should just be a no-brainer by the time they're like, oh, okay, cool. It's only $265 a month, or it's only $400, 450 bucks for a signature set, right? I'm not going to spend a lot of time to talking about ultimates, guys, just because Seth Kinzer is going to be teaching you guys how to sell ultimates because he's one of the best in the business. So again, you can either start with a kitchen and drop down, or you can start with individual packages and upserve later on an appointment. Right? Both work well. Again, you just do whatever you feel most comfortable with. What's important again is that you mention that we are a kitchen company, that we don't just sell knives. We're known for the knives, but we also sell spoons and forks, pots and pans, kitchen gadgets, right? Hunting and fishing experiences or accessories as well. Again, when we sell them again. Right, so great verbiage that you guys can use to help upserve kitchens and bundling packages later is this line. It's one of the most cash money lines that I've come across of. This has been passed down for me from Curtis J. Coos, who sold $1 million last year. And then a lot of his, again, verbiage spreads throughout the company. So I'm pretty sure this is where this originated from. So what I see happens a lot of the time is, again, I've been doing this now for so many years, Mrs. Jones, and my customers, they get their set of knives and they come back next year and they're like, hey, Bert, we love our knives. We have cut ourselves like 10 times. What else do you make? Right? So again, what happens a lot of times, people have been this for so many years, customers, they get their set of knives, they come back, they're like, oh my gosh, we love them so much. We cut ourselves 1,000,000 times. They're so sharp. What else do you make? Right? And then they'll see that we also sell cookware, flatware. We sell the family program, right? And then they'll buy those things. So, what a lot of our smart customers are doing, everybody wants to be smart, guys. So, what a lot of our smart customers are doing is they're actually bundling their packages together so they can save a ton of money in the long run and not spend more money over time. All right, so, what a lot of our smart customers are doing now is they're actually bundling their packages together so they can save a ton of money in the long run, right? And save money over time. Just out of curiosity, did you know that we also made the cookware and the flatware? Or did you also know that we make pots and pans and spoons and forks? That is a paragraph. It's more not just a line, but it is cash. Use it, right? It's plugging that everybody loves the knives. They eventually end up coming back for more. They want to know what else we sell. So you're letting them know what else we sell and helping them understand what smart customers do, which is bundle. Okay, next thing we're going to talk about, guys, selling more cookware and flatware. Okay, this takes more excitement. Again, I think that excitement, especially with spoons and forks, with the flatware, you got to get stoked. It's awesome. Okay, start with what's important when you guys are selling flatware and cookware, guys. You guys do it already with the knives, so it's silly to me how we kind of forget how the knives sell. Right? We sell the knives because we tell them the common problems that people have with junk knives. So you're going to do the same thing with flatware and cookware. Right? So with flatware, for example, it's like, yeah, most people, Mrs. Jones, they've got their mom's set, their grandma's set, and a mismatched set they've had for 20 years. Right? And then the problem is that when they ever lose a spoon or a fork, you can't actually go buy a replacement piece because they either make you just buy them in a set, or over time, a lot of companies, they change their design and they stop production on certain styles and you just can never buy them again. Almost all high quality flatware out there, Mrs. Jones, all high quality spoons and forks, they're handle heavy, so they fall in or they fall off your plate. And it's really unbalanced. And lastly, most high quality flatware isn't allowed to be put in the dishwasher because it'll rust, tarnish, or discolor over time. Right? So a bunch of just, again, obvious things that you guys already know how to do. Right? But it's important that you say that before you mention why Cutco is so great. So what I love about Cutco, what we did is we kind of figured out a solution for everybody's common spoons and forks problems or common flatware problems. So just like our knives, we committed to one style. If you lose a spoon, you can buy one spoon. You can buy individual pieces over time. And know with certainty that 1,000% we will still have that design. Right? People are like, oh, that's sweet. I'll never have a mismatch set. Another thing that's great about the Cutco flour is that we use an 1810 stainless steel, which is the highest quality steel that you will find in everyday spoons and forks or flatware. So ours is actually super lightweight, but it's actually ice cream proof, Mrs. Jones. So you don't have to worry about like it bending or breaking on you during normal pressure, even with little Jimmy, right? And what's cool is that it's also dishwasher proof. So again, every time you pull it out of the dishwasher, it's always shiny. And as a plus, you don't have to hand polish it every time you use it. Okay. Now, cookware, guys, I could spend an hour on this. I'm just gonna give you a couple quick tips because I don't have a whole lot of time today. So cookware, when explaining cookware, here's some easy one-liners to get customers' attentions and kind of get them hooked and asking you more questions, and then you can kind of point them in the right direction with the video. It's easy to use, it's easy to clean, it's built like a tank, and it lasts forever. Easy to use, easy to clean, it's built like a tank, and it lasts forever. The best one-liner that I found that really grabs people's attention, guys, is our pans have the same benefit of a non-stick pan without the health risk. Our pans have the same benefit of a non-stick pan without the health risk. The easy trick is to just preheat the pan before you use butter or spray. That's it, for about 60 seconds. Always preheat the pan, Mrs. Jones. Helps disperse the heat throughout the pan so there aren't hot spots, right? So that way you're not going to have eggs stick. Okay, guys, if you guys want to know more about the pans, just look up this video, Cooking Eggs in Stainless by Josh Muller. It's like 6.5 minutes. There's also a video called the 3366 Recipe by Jason Jeffrey. 3366 Recipe by Jason Jeffrey. Watch it. It's 13 minutes. You guys will learn so much about the cookware. And the last thing I can give you guys a tip on with the cookware is actually buy a sample pan, learn how to cook an omelet without it sticking, and you will sell more pans. Right? Mike Muriel is on this call right now. I literally was able to sell Mike Muriel on our pans, the region manager, on why these are so great during year-end banquet this year, simply by showing him how to cook an omelet with a couple of videos. Just the confidence in how I was talking about him was very exciting. So average everyday moms and dads are going to be just excited when they see a 17, 18, 19, 20, 30-year-old person excited about pans. Okay, last thing we're going to talk about, guys, I got a couple minutes left, is selling people on the 5Pay. Right, selling people on the 5Pay and giving people more relatable things on what they actually purchase on a normal, everyday, weekly, or monthly basis, and relating it to what they spend money on with Cutco specifically will help you sell more. Okay, so for example, if a person has got a $1,000 5-month payment, this is like an extra mortgage or a couple expensive trips to Costco for 5 months. Right? If a person is spending about $500 to $1,000, Mrs. Jones, this is like a couple of Costco trips a month, or a really expensive Costco trip a month for 5 months. Think about the stuff that we buy at Costco, Mrs. Jones. Those things are gone in a couple of weeks to a month, whereas this is going to last you forever and you're going to use it every day, and it's never going to go away. If they're spending $250 to $500, I say this is a couple of trips to Target, or this is like an extra car payment for 5 months. Right? And then if they're spending, again, $100 to $200, I say, Mrs. Jones, this is a couple of accidental trips to Target for 5 months. That's all it is. And if they're spending between $75 to $100 a month, I would say this is an extra date. This is a cheap date. An extra cheap date a month for the next 5 months. That's all it is. And you're never going to have to worry about this, or this again. Right? So relate it to something they're consistently used to doing. Right? So all I can say is this, guys. $1,000 packages can completely change the game if you're willing to commit to them. So today we've touched on mentality. Do you believe that you can sell $1,000 orders in Cutco Kitchens consistently? It starts with your belief first. You are in direct control of influencing your customer's purchase. So if you believe it, you'll sell more of it. We also touched on selling and introducing the Cutco Kitchen to more people. We are not just a knife company. We also touched on how to sell more flatware and cookware. Keep it simple, right? Talk about some of the things that frustrate people most and then provide solutions. And lastly, again, just properly, again, comparing 5Pays to, again, things that people are used to spending money on. If you utilize the tools, you're going to see the number of $1,000 packages that you sell increase, and your average order is going to increase right along with it. I hope you guys got some value from today's message. Excited to see you all sometime soon in person, hopefully at a conference.